Hey guys, welcome to Yoga with Emma. I was just setting up my space, making sure that you can see my entire mat, and I think you can. So as it looks like no one's on. Oh, someone just joined on. Okay, welcome to Yoga with Emma. I just introduced that, but no one was here when I was saying that. I just wanted to make sure that the view of my mat and everything was good. It seems good. So if you have a mat, roll that out. If you don't, you can use a towel. If you have a yoga block, that would be great. And if not, a thick textbook will work. And then if you have a strap, which is like this thing, you have something like this that you can use. A belt works really great too. It doesn't have to be like some fancy yoga thing. Not that this is that fancy, but okay. So get everything set up. Maybe put a playlist on with relaxing music. I'm not going to do that because I find that music sounds better in person on your speaker versus hearing it coming through from my speaker over to your computer or however you're listening to it. And then also when you get down onto your mat, make sure to take your socks off. You can practice with your socks on, but you might just be slipping on your mat or on your towel a little bit more, so it's a better grip without them. And also if you want to light a candle, spray some room mist, whatever will get you in the mood to practice and help get you a little bit calmer than you are right now. You could light incense. You could have fake candles if the real ones are not for you. So once you have everything set up, come and join me in Child's Pose. So for Child's Pose, we can keep the knees together, walk the sits bones to the tops of the heels, extending the arms out, head down to the mat. In this pose, we can also bring the arms back alongside us, coming onto the tops of the hands for this. Or in your Child's Pose, you could do more of an extended, wide-legged version. So you can bring your knees as wide as your mat so that your big toes touch in the back. You still will be sinking your sits bones onto the tops of your heels, and then extending your arms out, forehead to the mat. So just take whichever variation of Child's Pose you're feeling like today. Really let this be a chance to listen to your body. So much of the day, we kind of take our bodies for granted. We don't really get to think about them, so we're going to start thinking about our bodies now. So start by breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Really trying to let go of any tension in the body here. And breathing. Obviously, you're going to feel a bit of a stretch if you have your arms reaching out. You'll feel that through your shoulders. You'll feel a stretch through your hips if you have your legs out wide. And that's okay. So continue breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. In our yoga practice, our breathing is going to be very essential to what we're doing. We're always trying to link the breath to the pose so that you're getting that mind-body connection. If you're a beginner to yoga, that might be a bit challenging. It can be hard to focus on two things at a time when you're still trying to figure out the poses themselves. So don't worry about it if you're in that boat. In your child's pose, make sure that in your fingers, they're spread out wide. There's space in between them. And that your fingertips are planting into the mat, slightly gripping so that your knuckles are lifting off, so you're not flat down. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And breathing in through the nose. Walk your hands over to the right side of the mat. You can bring your forehead over there too. Stretching the left side body here. Breathing in and breathing out. You can bring your left hand on top of the right hand if that feels good. A little more of a stretch here. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And like I said, we're going to be listening to our body. So if at any time during the practice something doesn't feel right in your body, definitely ease off of it. Come to a different position. Maybe just come to your regular child's pose. Or just come to a comfortable seated position, whatever's best for you. So again, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And I'll walk it back to the center. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Walking the hands and the head over to the left of your mat or towel, whatever you're practicing on. And you can keep the arms straight out next to each other, your hands next to each other, or you can bring that right hand on top of the left. A little deeper stretch here. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and exhaling, returning it back to center. So again, now that we're back in the center, let's make sure that we're spreading out through the fingertips. That the fingertips are planting into the mat, slightly gripping it. That the knuckles are lifting off. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. On an inhale, we're going to come up into tabletop position. So for tabletop, we're going to have the wrists under the shoulders and the knees are going to be under the hips. And our spine's going to be very neutral here. So we're not going to be rounding it or anything. It's going to be pretty flat. So just breathe here, looking at your fingers. Again, making sure that there's a good amount of space in between your fingers, that you're slightly gripping the mat. Maybe gripping the mat even more here to bring some of the tension out of the wrists if you're having wrist issues. And if you are having wrist issues here, you can come down onto your forearms into more of a puppy pose, and you can just hang out here while we're doing our cat-cows. So pick whatever you're going to be doing, and if you're going to be doing the cat-cows, just stay in tabletop here. And we're going to inhale, the tailbone lifts and your head lifts. Exhale, the tailbone drops, chin to chest, rounding through the spine. Inhale, tailbone lifts, your head lifts. And exhale, tailbone tucks, chin to chest, rounding in the spine. Inhale, the tailbone lifts, head lifts up, gaze up. Exhale, tailbone tucks, chin to chest, rounding in the spine. So do a few more of these cat-cow poses at your own pace, following your breath. Inhaling as you go up and gaze up. And exhaling as you round in. Remembering to breathe here. When you're ready, you can take another cat-cow, or you can come to tabletop, whichever you feel like. And from tabletop, we're going to do thread the needle. So on an inhale, we're going to lift the right arm up, gaze up at the hand, and then exhale, thread your arm underneath your left arm, coming down to your shoulder and your right cheek of your face. You're lifting through the hips here. And you're gazing over to the left side of your mat at that right hand. So for this pose, you can either leave the left arm planted on the mat, like I am, or you can come to a half bind, bring that arm behind you. So whichever arm variation, just breathe here. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then if you have your arm behind you, bring it back to the mat. And then inhale, lifting back up with your hand. And come back into tabletop. We'll take it on the left side. So for the left side, we're going to lift the left arm, gazing up at the hand, and then exhaling, threading it through the right arm, coming down onto the left shoulder and the left cheek and the face. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Maybe keeping that arm down on the mat or bringing it behind you into a half bind. Whichever's best for you right now. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out, gazing to the right. Breathing in through the nose, and breathing out. Breathing in through the nose, and breathing out. Breathing in through the nose, and breathing out through the nose. And if you had your arm behind you, return your hand to the mat and press up, back to tabletop. And then maybe do some hip circles here, moving around in a circular motion. Following your breath, warming up the wrists a little bit here as well. And then maybe take it in the opposite direction. All right, so then come back into your tabletop position, and let's check again that through our fingers, there's enough space, that they're spread apart, and that your knuckles are slightly lifting off of the mat so that they're becoming a little bit white in the center. Not totally white, not ghost white, but just compared to the rest of your finger, might look a little white. Because the rest of your hand should be kind of red, pinkish from the blood flowing there. Yeah. Okay. So once you feel like you have your hand settled out, we're going to come up to downward facing dog. So we're going to tuck the toes under. We're coming onto the toes. We're going to lift up through the hips. We're going to press the chest back towards the thighs. And your feet can be lifted. Your heels can be lifted off the mat, or they can be down on the mat. Whichever is best for you. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the nose, gazing at the feet. And for the feet, you should really have them about a hip's distance apart. And you can have a bend in your legs if that helps you. Maybe your hamstrings are a little tight, like mine. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the nose. And if this pose is too much for you, on your wrist, you can come down to dolphin pose. So you can just come down onto your forearms instead of on your wrists. It's a little more core work, but it's better if your wrists are not taking this very well. And then if you're having trouble in your down dog or in dolphin, you can just come up to puppy pose. So for puppy pose, we're basically just, I'm trying to remember, I haven't done puppy pose in such a long time. What is puppy pose again? I'm like blinking. I'm sorry. I can't think. I'll figure it out later. Sorry. But if this pose is too much, feel free to come to child's pose or a comfortable seat. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the nose. You know, for some reason, I feel like puppy pose might literally just be like this. I think you kind of like come down onto, yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Something along those lines. So whatever feels best for your body, do that. And breathe here for a few rounds. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the nose. And on an inhale, look up to your hands. And then on the exhale, start to walk your feet up to the middle of your mat or your towel. And separate your feet about 1 fist distance. So your fist, put that in between. That's the distance between your feet. We're going to come into ragdoll. So we're going to be doing a forward fold here. You can bend generously in the knees as much as you need. You can bend as much that your chest comes to the top of your thighs. And we're just going to fold here and let everything go. Let the tension in the head and the neck just go. Maybe nod the head yes and shake it no to release that tension. Maybe grab opposite elbows and rock gently side to side, following your breath. On an exhale, release everything down. On an inhale, start lifting up. vertebrae by vertebrae until your head lifts. And inhale, the arms and hands up ahead, gaze up. And then exhale, bring the palms to heart center, coming into mountain pose. So for mountain pose, you can keep the feet at the hip distance, or you can heel toe your feet together so that your feet are touching. If you have your feet separated, it's easier to bounce here. So whichever is best for you. And in mountain pose, I'm just gonna break down the pose here just a little bit because a lot of people think it's just standing, and it's not. The body's doing a lot more here. So we're really gonna root down through our feet and get grounded here, pressing into all four corners of each foot. So when I say all four corners, I mean the corner of your one foot. So you can have your little pinky toe is your one corner, then your big toe is the other corner, and then each side of your heel, that corner, is the back corners of the heel in your foot. So pressing into those equally, micro bend through the knees here, protecting the joint. The tailbone is tucking down slightly. Our belly is lifting up and in, engaging the abdominal core muscles here slightly. We have our palms pressing together. Our palms are near our sternum. We have the shoulders pressing down and back. So they're drawing together a little bit. The shoulder blades, that is. Then our gaze is straight ahead. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Really getting grounded in your mountain pose. Maybe feeling like you're becoming one with the earth, that you're really connecting to it. Maybe that you're even integrating into it. Like a mountain. You know, the mountain isn't just sitting on top of the earth, it's actually part of the earth and in the earth. So just breathe here. I invite you to close your eyes. And if you close your eyes and you're having trouble keeping your balance and you have your feet together, maybe separate them. And maybe keep your eyes open and just gently gaze ahead of you. And just be here for a moment. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in, sending the arms up and overhead, extended mountain pose. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, flat back, the shoulder blades draw together. And then exhale, plant the palms and step back into downward facing dog. Take a breath in here, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Breathing in, lifting that right leg up to hip height, and then bending and fanning that hip open, trying to stack the hips here, opening up. And then exhale, bring the foot back down to the mat. On an inhale, lift the left leg up to hip height. And then on the exhale, bend through the leg, fan open the hip, sending it over to the right side of your mat, stacking the hips here. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And return that foot back down to the mat. And take a breath in and breath out. Maybe another breath in, another breath out. On an inhale, we're going to lift that right leg and send it through in between our hands, wherever they are on the mat, coming into a lunge. And you can either keep the back knee lifted, or you can come onto that knee and coming on to the top of the foot. So you can either be here, or you can be here. And just staying here, breathing, making sure that you have a long line of energy extending from your head down to your tailbone. So you don't want to be like rounding in here, like going up too much. So just gazing at the top of your mat or at your foot. Try not to collapse too much into the mat here, really lifting out. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then if you haven't already, we're going to drop the knee down, come onto the top of the foot. And we're going to walk the right foot over to the right side of the mat a little bit. We're going to come into our lizard lunge. So for lizard lunge, we're going to walk the hands to the inside of the right foot. And you can either stay here. This is a perfectly acceptable variation of the pose. You can come down onto your forearms. That's also okay. When you do this, your right knee is going to start splaying out to the right. That's okay. So you can do that, and that's okay. Just looking at the mat, looking at your hands if you're down on the forearms. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Really get in tune with your body. How does the stretch feel here? You should really be feeling the stretch through your hip. This is a hip opener. Also a little bit through the thigh, through those muscles. And like I said, if anything ever doesn't feel good to you, just come into child's pose or a comfortable seat. Don't torture yourself. There's no need for that in yoga. There's no need for that anywhere, in my opinion. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And on an inhale, if you were down on your forearms, come lift back up to your hands. And then exhale, bring the leg back to meet the left. And pressing back into your downward facing dog. Take a breath in through the nose, and out through the nose. On an inhale, lift the left leg up. Ooh, I have cracked. And then exhale, send it in between your hands towards the top of your mat, coming into your lunge on the left side. So making sure that your knee is at a 90-degree angle here. That's very important. I didn't mention that last time. And like I said, either keeping the knee lifted or coming down onto that knee and coming onto the top of the foot. Or you can also come onto the knee and still have your toes tucked if you want to lift back up. But that puts more pressure on the knee joint. So if you're having knee problems, I would not do that. So pick whichever variation you want to do, and then stick with it and follow your breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Staring at the top of your mat or your foot. Maybe gazing forward slightly. So pick your gaze point and stick with that. One last time, breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, and drop onto that knee if you're not already there. Come onto the top of that foot. Then we're going to walk the left foot over to the left side of your mat a little bit, coming into lizard lunge on the left. And like before, you're going to bring your hands to the inside of your left foot. And you can stay here. This is obviously part of the pose too. You don't have to do every aspect of it. There's different variations of poses, so this is one variation. So if you're going to stay here, making sure that you're spreading through the fingertips, that you're clawing through them too, so that your knuckles are lifting off. And then if you want to come down to your forearms, you can do so by just coming down gently and slowly, carefully, cautiously. And then you can stare at those palms or just down at the mat, right below you, below your nose. And really, you're going to have your hip opening up towards the left side of your mat here, if you're down on your forearms, more than if you were lifted up. So it's a bigger stretch here on your forearms. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And really feeling that stretch through your hip, maybe through your thigh a little bit. And on an inhale, if you're not at your palms already, lift up. Coming back up onto your palms. And then exhale, step that leg back, and then lift up into your downward facing dog. Breathing in through the nose here, and breathing out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the nose. On the inhale, we're going to look to our hands, and then either jump or walk your feet up by your hands, halfway lifting, coming to a flat back, and then exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, coming to extended mountain pose, gazing up, and then exhaling, bringing the palms to heart center. And so we're going to do a couple bouncing poses here. So for the first one, I guess for both of them, I'll just come over here and show you. So we're going to do a figure 4 pose on the right side. So for this, we're going to bring our weight into the standing leg, which will be the left leg here. And we're going to inhale the palms to heart center. Then we're going to lift up through the right leg. And we're gonna bring that right leg above our knee. And you're gonna be flexing through your right foot. So you can either stay here or you can start to bend into your left knee, coming down, picking a drishti or gaze point to focus on so that you don't lose your balance. Like I was about to because I was staring at the screen and I shouldn't have been doing that. I'm trying to keep your spine as neutral as possible as you can. So pretty straight and upright. And then exhale, release it all out, maybe shake it out a little bit. Once you feel like you've shaken it out, then all the movements that you've had to do, let's come to the left side. So bring that weight into your right leg. And bring a little micro bend into it too, because that's important. Inhale the palms to heart center. And then inhale, lift that left leg up to a 90-degree angle. And then bring that leg into a 4 position above your knee, your right knee. So you can either stay here, or you can start dropping into your right knee, picking a gaze point, a drishti to focus on so that you can bounce here, making sure to flex through that left foot. That is super important here. Breathing in and breathing out. Really pressing through your standing toe, your big toe here. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And release. And then shake it out like we did. Maybe shake out through the arms, swaying them back and side, in front and back of you. Maybe swaying your arms from one direction to the other, just loosening up here. Okay. All right, so then the next bouncing pose we're going to do is going to have a similar setup to the one that we just did. So on the right side, we're going to bring our weight into the left standing leg. Remember to keep a micro bend through that knee. And then bring your hands to your hips and lift up through the right leg, coming into a 90-degree angle, flexing through the foot. So breathing here, gazing ahead, and then grabbing your knee or extending your leg out so you can grab your big toe, whichever way you want to do it. And then send that right leg out to the right and bring the left arm out to the left, gazing over to the left. Maybe gazing directly to your left hand as your drishti point. Really zipping up through the core here. Shoulder blades are kind of drawing towards each other here as well. And then on an exhale, walk it back to center. And then bring that leg out, straighten it, and hold here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and drop it down. All right, then if you need to shake it out, bend through the knees a little bit, do whatever you need to do. We're going to sit up on the left side. So we're going to bring our weight into the standing right leg. So a little bend through the knee here. It's important to note that your foot should be facing forward at 12 o'clock, if that makes any sense to you. Like if you think of a round clock, 12 is right in front. That's where your foot should be. So we're going to bring our hands to our hips, and we're going to inhale the left leg up to a 90-degree angle. And then you can grab your left knee or you can grab your left big toe, whichever way you want to do it. And then on an exhale, we're going to send the left leg out to the left and send the right arm out to the right, gaze to the right. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, zipping up through the core. Breathing out. Breathing in, gazing to the left, making sure you have a drishti here. Maybe it's your hand. Breathing out. Breathing in and exhaling, send it all forward. And then bring your hands to your hips, straighten that left leg. And breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release. So again, maybe shake it out here. Do whatever's best for your body. All right. So we're going to go into tree pose on both sides. So first on the right side, we're going to bring our weight into the left leg. So remembering to do that little micro bend, that's important. Making sure that the foot is facing forward. It's not splayed out one direction or the other. And then we're going to either keep the foot planted here on the mat. That's perfectly fine. Or you can bring it to your ankle. Or you can grab your ankle here and place your foot on the inner of your left thigh, upper left thigh. And make sure that you're not putting it on your knee. That would be really bad. So inhale, the hands to heart center. And exhale, drop the shoulder blades down and back. Breathing in and breathing out. Just make sure that you're set up here, that you found the drishti, a gaze point to look at. When you're ready, grow your branches, coming into an arm variation. So maybe just bringing them up and overhead. Maybe clasping and then pressing up so that the palms of your hands are gazing up at the ceiling. Maybe coming into steeple hands so that your hands are like this, like a chapel. Bring those up head. You can also come into goddess arms or goalpost arms. So come into your own variation of tree pose. Maybe just bringing the palms together and overhead. Breathing in and breathing out. Dropping the shoulders down. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring the palms back to heart center. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Drop it all down. So maybe wiggle it out here a little bit. It's a lot to be putting into our standing legs like that, especially for a gentle yoga class. So now we're going to take it on the left side. So we're going to bring our weight into the right standing leg, little micro bend through that knee. Make sure that the foot is pressing forward in a straight position, so 12 o'clock, like on a clock. And then we're going to inhale, and you can keep the foot planted on the mat. You can bring it down to the ankle. You can keep it there. Or you can grab that ankle on your left foot and then press and bring it up to your inner right thigh this time. So pick whichever leg variation you're going to take, where you're going to place that foot. Then when you're ready, inhale the palms to heart center and pick a drishti point. Just a point where you will gaze throughout this entire pose and your gaze will not travel anywhere else. So inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose, dropping the shoulders down and back. When you're ready, inhale the arms up, coming into your tree pose. Trying to relax the shoulders here, yet pressing up and out of the standing leg. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And it's okay if you lose your bounce here. It's perfectly normal. If you do, you can just come back to the pose. It's totally okay. On an exhale, bring the palms back to heart center. Inhale in through the nose. And exhale, releasing it all down. And maybe wiggle out here a little bit. And then I'm just going to check the time real quick. All right, so we have a little bit more time. All right, so we're going to come into Camel Pose. So we're going to come down onto our mats. We're going to come onto our knees. We're going to press onto the tops of our feet. And so for Camel Pose, the knees, they can be together, they can be apart slightly, but you don't want them out too wide or anything like that. We're going to have them pretty much together here. And then we're going to gaze straight ahead. We're going to make sure that we're keeping a neutral spine here while we're setting it up, so we're very straight. And then we can bring, either you can take the knuckles like this, like your two peace fingers, bring the knuckles to the small of your back and start setting up here. Or you can take your hands, pressing your hands up like this, like you're, I don't know how to explain, like you're high-fiving someone, but you're high-fiving your back. So you can do that. So either way, you'll feel more of a stretch through your forearm if you're doing the high-fiving motion. So whichever way you want to do it, you can stay here, or you can start to round back through your spine, gazing up at the ceiling as you're coming back. And then you can also start to walk down and grab your ankle and grab it with the one hand, and then you can bring the other ankle to grab the other. And then lifting up and out, gazing at the ceiling, breathing here, and then coming up. And then coming into your child's pose again. Maybe if you did one variation, you can switch it up, try a different one if you haven't tried the other ones. Or just come into whichever one you did before. Making sure to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, really walking your hands and your arms forward in front of you, stretching out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. On an inhale, we're going to come back up to our downward facing dog. So take a breath in here, then a breath out. On an inhale, we're going to lift up through the right leg. Exhale, we're going to send our right knee up to our right wrist, coming into Pigeon Pose. So for Pigeon, we're going to be really stretching out through our hips here. So if you have tight hips, just be very careful here and make sure that for everyone, make sure that you're really keeping your feet a little active here, that you're not letting them go numb. So for pigeon, you're gonna bring your right knee up here, and then typically you would have your whole leg kind of parallel to the front of your mat, but not everyone's that flexible, and you don't want to push it. So just bring your foot out to any position that's comfortable for you. Or you can put it parallel to the top of the mat if you are that flexible, but if you're not, then like I said, don't push it. So you can either stay lifted here, pressing through the palms, and for this you can't see my foot, I'm on the top of my foot. Inhaling, looking up, and then exhaling, like I said, you can stay lifted up here, or you can start coming down onto your mat. And you can come, kind of make a pillow with your arms and drop your forehead down onto your arms. Or just whatever is comfortable for you to come down in this pose. And just breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feeling this awesome stretch here. Feeling the hips really opening up. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in and breathing out, really trying to drop everything down onto the mat. But still keeping your feet active here. Just a little energy through them. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. On an inhale, pressing back into the palms if you weren't already up, if you were down. And then exhale, we're going to press back into our downward facing dog. Take a breath in here. Take a breath out. Inhale, lift the left leg up. And then exhale, bring the left knee to the left wrist, coming down onto your knee, your right knee, and coming onto the top of your foot. So coming into pigeon on the left side, like I said, you can either have your left leg, the calf parallel to the front of your mat, or you can have it any way in between that feels comfortable to you. Obviously, like I've said probably about a few times now, if anything's not feeling right for you, don't do it. Ease off of it, because if something doesn't feel right, it probably means that something isn't right. So you just don't want to risk it with your body. So either stay here, pressing into the palms, lifting up through the body, gazing forward, or exhaling, coming down to your mat, creating a pillow for your head. Coming down into the mat, whichever way is comfortable for you. Or staying lifted. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose, feeling that stretch through the hips. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And on an inhale, if you're not already up, press into the palms, lifting back up. Coming back to your lifted pigeon, half pigeon pose. And then exhale, stepping that left leg back to meet the right. And then coming down onto your mat. We're going to do hero's pose before coming into a more relaxing sequence. Both these poses are pretty relaxing that we just did, but it is a bit of a stretch. So for hero's pose, let me move up a little bit more. We're going to bring our knees together and we're going to sit down in between. We're going to have our feet on each side of us. It might be easier to see if I'm showing you like this, how my feet are on each side of me. And right now, my butt is planted on the mat. If your butt cannot reach the mat, then you can use a block. Let me just come back so that I can show you that. So for the block, if you can't reach the ground, you're just gonna come onto a block like that. And then if you're using the block, you would just stay lifted. Otherwise, if you're not using a block, I'll show you the rest of the pose. So you would come down if you are coming down onto your buttocks. And then you can still stay lifted if this is more comfortable for you. Or you can start coming down onto your hands, lifting back a little. Feel that's a little more of a stretch. We're stretching out the quadriceps, which are the fronts, the top of your thighs right in front of you. And then you can start walking down onto the forearms. And you can stay here. Or you can come all the way down onto the back. And if you are on your back, you are going to have an arch through your spine. So your back isn't going to be planted on the mat directly. At least it shouldn't be. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Really feeling that stretch through the quadriceps here. Breathing in and breathing out. And on an inhale, starting to lift back up if you were pressed down. And then lifting back up. And we're going to come down to lay on our mats, on our back. So come onto your back on your mat. Get comfortable here. We're going to inhale the feet flat to the mat. And this is really where a relaxing portion of the practice is going to start. So this is really great for us to start to slow down after some of the movements we've been doing and a lot of the heavy stretches that we've just done. So on an inhale, we're going to bring the arms out to a T. So we're going to bring the right arm straight out to the right, the left arm straight out to the left. Going to inhale in, and then exhaling, bringing the knees and the legs over to the left of the mat. Breathing here. Seeing how that feels. Maybe feel a little stretch through the side body. And on an inhale, lifting the legs back up into center. And then exhaling them over to the left, dropping the knees down. Maybe feeling a stretch through the side body here on the right. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And on an inhale, send them back up to center. Just pause here for a moment, taking a breath in and a breath out. Breathing in, breathing out, sending the knees over to the right. One more time. Maybe closing your eyes here, relaxing through the shoulders. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the nose. Breathing in, lifting back up, bring it to center. And exhale, bring it over to the left side of the mat, your knees, dropping them down. Maybe closing your eyes again if you open them up, or keeping them closed, or keeping them open. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, releasing any tension in the shoulders here. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Again, breathing in through the nose, and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose, lifting back up to center. Then exhaling, sending the legs out long in front of you. And on an inhale, we're going to bring the right knee into our chest, plug it in. And then exhale, send the right knee over to the left and the right arm out to the right, gazing at the right hand, coming into a supine twist. Really twisting over, twisting your lower body over to the left, and then twisting your neck over to the right. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose, and out through the nose. On an inhale, bringing that leg back out. Exhale the leg out in front of you. And then inhale the left leg in, pressing the knee into the chest. And then bringing that knee over to the right side of the mat. And exhaling the left arm out to the left, gazing to the left. You can gaze at the left hand and the fingers here. Or you could close your eyes. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And on an inhale, bring the leg back to center. And exhale, bring it out in front of you. Then we're going to come to Shavasana or corpse pose. So for this pose, we're going to want to send our right leg out to the far right of our mat and our left leg out to the far left. And don't worry, these are fake candles, so I'm not going to burn myself. Okay. So you can either keep your hands planted on the mat, your palms are planted so that you feel grounded here. You can move them up for receptivity to new energies, new people, new experiences. I'd say a lot of us need grounding right now. So pick whichever hand variation you'd like to do. You can also bring one of your hands to your belly and one to your heart. Feeling your heartbeat, feeling your belly rise as you inhale and drop as you exhale. So do whatever's best for your body in this present moment. And then I invite you to close your eyes. And if you don't close your eyes, then just gaze very softly at a certain point, up at the ceiling somewhere. You have your eyes open. So just starting to breathe here. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in, feeling the belly maybe expanding here from the diaphragm. And breathing out, belly contracts down. Breathing in, belly lifts up. Breathing out, the belly contracts and lowers. Maybe feeling when you breathe in, your rib cage expanding and opening up, and contracting, coming back together. So feeling your breath somewhere in the body. Maybe feeling it through your mid or upper back. So coming in tune with your breath. And then starting to come into your body. How do you feel in this present moment? Is there tension in the body? The common places that we hold on to tension are in our shoulders, our neck, our jaws, and our foreheads. So just be mindful of those spots and any other spots that your body might hold on to tension that you're aware of. And try to loosen that tension if you identify any. And then scanning the rest of the body for any tension that maybe you're unaware of, that you don't normally hold on to. Breathing here, trying to release the tension wherever you feel it. And if you can't release it on your own, just trying to breathe into that area. Thinking about directing the energy towards that part of your body. And then once you feel like you've released all of your tension or released any of the tension that you could in this session, Just start to focus on your breathing for a few moments. Trying to focus on your breathing, being in your body rather than focusing on what you're going to do next after your yoga session. So common for our brains to have a to-do list that we go through. Our body starts to relax. Half of the time, we're kind of in a chronic stress mode where we're always doing something and thinking about what we're going to do next. And when we come into a relaxing state, it can be hard to turn that part of us off. Not turn it off completely, but just kind of let it be silent for a moment. And there's never a moment where we turn off our thoughts completely. That's a myth. I don't know who made that up and why people think that's what mindfulness and yoga is about silencing your mind. It's not about that. It's about paying attention to your thoughts, your thought patterns. And once you identify that you started talking in your head about your to-do list and about the things you have going on later in the day, just gently shift it back to your breathing, to your body. Whatever point of attention is best for you. There's not a problem with your mind rambling. There's nothing wrong with you. We're all human. That's how the mind works. It's not called the monkey mind for no reason. The monkey brain. So I invite you to start coming back into your body, wiggling out your toes a little bit, wiggling out your fingertips slowly. And then inhale, bringing your knees into your chest. And then exhale, turning over to your right side. Just relaxing here for a moment. Creating a pillow with your right arm, your head. Breathing in through the nose. And out through the nose. Inhale, pressing into the mat. Coming up. And then we're going to come into a seated position. So whichever one is comfortable, you can come into sort of a lotus variation or into a thunderbolt pose with your knees together and the tops of your sit bones on tops of the heels. So do whatever pose is good for you. I'm just going to stay here because I like this one too. I like the one. So I invite you to close your eyes. Breathe in through the nose. And out through the mouth, side out. Breathe in through the nose. Side out. Breathe in through the nose. Side out. Let it go. On an inhale, I invite you to bring the palms to heart center. And then exhale, drop the shoulders down and back. And breathe here and take a moment of gratitude. Think about something in your day that you're grateful for. Breathing in, breathing out. And if you can't think of anything that you're grateful for in this moment, and try to be grateful for showing up to your mat today on this kind of dreary Sunday afternoon. Be really proud of yourself for showing up when you really didn't have to. You're doing this for yourself, for your body, for your mind, for your stress levels sometimes. Whatever reason that you showed up to your mat, just thank yourself for it. On an inhale, we're going to bring the palms up to the third eye. The light and divine inside of me recognizes the light and the divine in each and every one of you. I thank you for sharing your practice with me today virtually. And we bow together, exhaling, namaste. All right, I'm going to clap for us because there's no one else here. Thank you for showing up and taking the class. I'm really glad that some people showed up and practiced today. It looks like we've had about 3 people at least watching. You have been practicing, and that's even, there's actually studies about this. Even if you think about doing a pose, maybe watch someone doing it and then think about emulating that in your body without actually doing it. It brings you closer to attaining that. So like, for example, I'll just give an example. Ooh, did you hear that? Oh my God. Okay. So if you're doing, let's say you're doing a forward fold and you're like me and you can only really reach your ankles if you're really stretching out, and you really want to reach your feet here. So maybe that's not available to you right now. Maybe your body can't do that, but you can think in your mind's eye about coming closer to your feet. Or maybe you can't do a forward fold at all. Maybe you're here and maybe you can't reach forward. But then you just think in your mind, close your eyes and think in your mind about folding forward. And then over time, you will be able to slowly begin to fold forward. So it's, maybe some people would think that's a little strange, but there's studies about it. If you're interested, I'll send you articles and stuff regarding that. Anyways, I hope you have a great night. Well, actually, it's only 2 o'clock. I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon. So used to teaching at night. I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon, and I thank you for practicing with me and just showing up and doing this practice. It's so important now with everything going on to, even though this yoga wasn't very, active, we weren't moving around too much, it's something. So yeah, it's great that you're practicing and moving your body and being mindful. Mindfulness is really important right now too, just being present and trying to stay in the present moment. Because if you start thinking about the future, the future right now is very uncertain. So that can bring up some anxiety. So just trying to stay present and trying to just be grateful for everything that you have right now, even if that's not much. All right, well, have a great rest of your afternoon, and I'm going to sign off.